Hi there, this is Dave and welcome to another crowdsourced video detailing my Discord server's top 10 best JRPG archers. So far we've discussed monks, thieves, white mages, and black mages, so now it's time for some ranged attackers. This series seems to be pretty popular, and if you want to take part too, be sure to come and join the Discord. We've had 39 total submissions, and then the server voted on which of those would be represented here in the top 10. However, there was a glitch in the matrix, and it seems that they accidentally voted on the worst archer too. So of course, they'll be here as well. Please keep in mind that this isn't necessarily my opinion, but the opinion of the best Discord server around. So join and become part of the fun as the series continues throughout the rest of the year. And with that, let's fire off a hail of arrows. Number 10, submitted by Black Box and receiving 37 votes, is Artea from Lufia 2, Rise of the Sinistrals. JRPGs from the SNES era are some of the most beloved out there, and Lufia 2 stands high above the crowd. A curious thing about these games is a trend where the final party member is just the coolest of the cool, and Artea is a prime example of this. He really shines as the only character who can use bows, which have the neat feature of attacking all enemies on the screen for full damage and for free. The elf's stats range from average to high with no real weaknesses. He might not be as strong as Guy or Maxim, or as gifted in magic as Selen, but he can hold his own. Artie's cool level-headedness often clashes with Guy's impulsiveness, leading to some comic relief throughout the game, but despite all that, he never hesitates to help out his allies. Number 9, submitted by definitely not Davidvinc, and receiving 39 votes, is Phoebe from Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. This bitch is phenomenal. Not only is she an expert archer, but she can use cat claws too. Searching for her grandfather Spencer, she helps you out for probably the longest stretch of the game. She joins you for the Frozen Aquaria region through the wintry cave where she sadistically watches you fall to your doom before giving you some claws to climb up yourself. Then, she accompanies you to the pyramid where it just happens to have a bag of jumbo bombs up her ass, which she gives you as well. Not to mention that she has great magical abilities, and then joins you again for the late game stretch against the final boss. It's kind of funny that Benjamin is a bumbling fool throughout the game, but his partners are all expert heroes. I mean really, the four of them should all just join up and leave poor Ben in the dust. Number 8, submitted by Alcast and receiving 39 votes, is Algus from Final Fantasy Tactics. Who said that archers had to be good people? Algus is a slug and joins after being rescued on Mandalia Plains, and he's grateful, until he learns that Ramza's best friend is a commoner. After Algus throws a huge bitch fit, he leaves the party. But while we're all out, the castle is attacked, and Teta, Delita's sister, is kidnapped. So of course, we have to rescue her, and track her down at Zeekton Fortress, where she's being held hostage. But before we can do all that and rescue her, that slimeball Algus shows up and fires off 2 shots with no hesitation, killing Teta instantly. And then after the fight, the explosives are detonated, triggering the spark that would begin the War of the Lions. And that's how a single dick started a war with 2 arrows, then died with not enough regrets. Number 7, submitted by Razundi and Tanternal, and receiving 39 votes, is Raymie of Star Ocean: The Last Hope. Raymie is your childhood friend and a gifted archer with a high critical hit rate, and in a game where that actually really matters, because every time you kill an enemy with a critical hit, you get a plus 10% experience gem for the battle bonus board, allowing you to get a 140% bonus experience really fast. Add to the fact that she's ranged, so she doesn't have to deal with the irritating blind sign mechanic either. Then, she's also one of 2 characters who can dodge an attack at the same time, so while she might look fragile, she's overpowered as hell. Outside of battle, she's the level-headed first mate on the Calnus, and is probably the only woman in the game whose voice acting doesn't make you want to gouge out your ears with an ice pick. Number 6, submitted by Tom Derry and receiving 42 votes, is Hanit from Octopath Traveler. Trained since birth by her master to be a fearsome hunter, this orphan is as deadly as she is beautiful. Her Rain of Arrows skill attacks all enemies up to 8 times, obliterating vulnerable enemy shields, and with the ability to cast Thunder rounding out her personal skills, she is quite the threat. Her class ability of Second Serving allows her an additional physical attack, and Patience gives her a chance for a second attack at the end of the round, and they are fantastic skills for anyone to learn. To top it all off, she's also a Beastmaster, capturing any enemy and summoning them into battle, and it proves to be in a league of her own. Number 5, submitted by Krelnek and Logic Blade and receiving 42 votes, is Raven from Tales of Vesperia. In any other RPG, Raven will be the token, aloof older man, but he's anything but that, as he does a great job of providing levity to certain darker scenarios, while also being appropriately serious when the moment calls for it. Being older, he also has a lot of connections to the events in the game, and his happy-go-lucky personality gives him a good contrasting role to the more serious characters. While strictly equipping a bow, he's a jack of all trades, being able to use his arts up close, cast wind magic, and even heal. He's got a pretty fun style that can be a bit tricky to master, but he's worth it for his versatility and long-range attacks. Overall, he's a welcome addition to the team for both his personality and his gameplay. Number 4, submitted by Statues and Pawns and receiving 43 votes, is Fran from Final Fantasy XII. While you can honestly make Fran whatever you want, she does start out with a bow, and to me, it's very fitting to keep her with one, even though she ironically has the slowest attack animation with that weapon. She also bucks the trend, because rather than being the sexy, flirty bunny girl that everyone expected, she's instead the strong, silent type, as she's the lone wanderer from an extremely insular village, and seeing her homecoming was very enjoyable as well. She joins Vaughn on his journey extremely early, along with Balthier, because the developers aren't stupid and they know what we want. They gave us a super sexy dapper gentleman and a scantily clad bunny in heels, and we're not complaining. Number 3, submitted by Sandra and receiving 51 votes, is Elisa from the Trails of Cold Steel series. While she really started off as a super bitch, she quickly grows out of that, apologizes, and then becomes a great ally. Elisa is canonically Rean's love interest throughout the series, but she's also a complicated character in her own right. While many other characters are just there to be a pretty princess or a sister who gets kidnapped all the time, Elisa has her own issues, mostly with her screwed up family. You can easily see why she puts up walls and why she became so cold-hearted whenever you meet her mother, because she's not exactly the nicest person either. In battle, she excels at supporting the party with arts, CP recovery, and healing arrows, as well as her S-craft. Number 2, submitted by Silo, Jacob the Truth Speaker, Gremstein, and Karateka Oot, and receiving 54 votes, is Bo from Breath of Fire 2. Bo is a good doggy! First meeting him as a kid and then joining him to do odd jobs, being framed for a crime he didn't commit is the catalyst for Ryu's entire journey, as they literally go halfway across the world just to find the real thief. But clearing his name is well worth it, as Bo is a competent hunter, he can attack for full damage from the back row, and he gets powerful weapons that hit twice, and not only that, he's the best healer in the entire game! But let's not forget why he's on the journey in the first place. It's not because of some personal vendetta, debt, or being the chosen one. He's just there because Ryu is his best friend, and he'll be there for his buddy the whole way through. And as you know, he can be shamaned into a robot dog, and that's pretty damn cool too. And then number 1, submitted by Vivi and TT Paradigm, and receiving 58 votes, is Claude from Fire Emblem 3 Houses. In a game where mobility and attack range are of the utmost importance, this hot dude from the Golden Deer house has it all. At first, he shows up with his looks, charisma, and large quiver of arrows. He starts off as the strongest of the 3 lords, and then gets even better later on in the game, and he gets his ultimate weapon for free. There's no wonder he's number 1 here. Then, as you see him mature, his biggest advantage lies between his legs. He even calls it Barbarossa. Not too shabby. At this point, he's a flying archer of death and destruction, and his unit becomes the best in the game. he can just pop up right behind an enemy, stick his arrows up their ass, and make them squeal with girlish glee, or terror, before they can ever counter back. But wait! You probably thought that I was done here! But there's more, because apparently the Discord server messed up and voted for the worst archer as well, because submitted by Ace Trainer AJ and is receiving 51 votes is Marl from Chrono Trigger. Marl isn't even an archer. She's a shitty mage who just happens to carry a bow. She has access to white magic, but while everybody else has a unique element, she and Frog both share access to those spells, and then later on, she's outclassed by Magus. Then there's her healing, because she's supposedly the best white mage in the game, but because she can't use multi-target healing, she's actually the worst there too, outclassed by Frog with his heal spell, and Robo with his cure and heal beams, and then even Alia, who can heal status ailments with her lowly kiss. Marl can't even do that. The one unique thing that she really brings to the table is her haste spell, but she's going to get outclassed by 3 haste helmets that you get later on too. None of her abilities ever use her bow, and if she thinks that she's marrying Chrono, she has another thing coming, because I'm going to trip a bitch and take him for myself. Well, that's it for the top 10 best JRPG archers, and the worst one, as decided by my Discord server. We do have quite a few more honorable mentions though. Noir, Leon, and Takumi from the Fire Emblem series, Tempest from Lunar, Remus from Growlancer, Anna from the Epic Battle Fantasy series, Popo of Stella Glow, Maru from Arc the Lad Twilight of the Spirits, Natalia and Chester from the Tales series, Princess Kyuga from Mary Skelter Nightmares, Lilica of Rogue Galaxy, Daisadu from Pokemon, Diego from Vandal Hearts, Leia from Phantasy Star 3, Momo of Xenosaga, Canopus from Tactics Ogre, Jaren from Lufia and the Fortress of Doom, Stallion and Ted from the Suikoden series, Shauna from The Legend of Dragoon, Zabi from Indivisible, Viola of Eternal Sonata, Rosa from Final Fantasy IV, the Elf from Dragon's Crown, Angelo from Dragon Quest VIII, Kate from Shining Force 3, and Lamia Loveless from the Super Robot Wars OG series. Who are your favorite archers and why? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to take part in future class ranking videos, come and join the Discord channel to make your voice be heard too. The link to it can be found in the video description as well as the comments. I do hope to see you there. And as always, if you like this, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good day.